What's going on, everyone? It's Chris from 416 Coffee, and this is episode 52 of Coffee with Chris. Now, in this episode, I wanted to answer the top 11 most asked questions on Google regarding coffee. So I thought this would be a fun one where I can just rapid fire, boom, 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 give the answers to some of these questions. Let's see how I do. Alright, so these are the top 11 asked questions of 2019 on Google regarding the wonderful, 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 wonderful thing that is coffee. So, question number one, what is coffee? What is green coffee? So, coffee is a plant. It comes green. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, obviously, if you watch my content or if you've come to our place, you know that coffee's green, but a lot of people still don't know that coffee comes green. They think it comes brown. They don't know that it's roasted, or they understand that it's roasted, but then I guess they don't understand that there's a color change that goes on. But yeah, so coffee's just it's pretty much the seeds of the coffee plant, and we're pretty much drinking the seeds of a coffee cherry. That's it. How people actually figured out to get the seeds out, to cook them, to grind them up, and to brew them, I have no idea. I don't think anyone really knows. There's a lot of kind of stories that are, part myth, probably 10% true. But to actually go through all that process, it's kind of insane to think we were like, oh, here's these berries that taste pretty bitter and sour, just eating them raw. And then there's these beans inside, and then we should dry them and cook them and then brew them with some water and drink that. It's just craziness to me. But anyway, so that's coffee. Coffee is a plant, and we somehow figured out how to drink the seeds from this plant that makes cherries. Is espresso coffee? Yes. The fact that this is Googled is actually slightly concerning to me. Yeah, of course espresso's coffee. Come on. That's number 2 on, that's bad. Is there caffeine in decaf coffee? How much caffeine is in a regular coffee? So, decaf coffee always has trace amounts of caffeine. So I always think it's funny when people are like, "Oh, I'm allergic to caffeine. I can only have decaf." It's like, well, I guess it would depend on the severity of your allergy, but if you're actually allergic to caffeine, then decaf would also set you off. But anyways, besides the point, decaf will have a bit of caffeine in it, 10 to 15 milligrams, I think, is what they kind of throw out there. There could be some in here just to cover their bases. Normal coffee, depending on the size, will have 95 to 200 milligrams of caffeine. But it really depends. There's lighter roast, there's darker roast. That's a very broad range. But yeah, decaf does have caffeine in it. So if you actually think you're allergic to caffeine, you can't drink anything coffee based. You just can't. I'm sorry. Is coffee bad for you? So I feel like there's 2 schools of thoughts on this, or at least there's a lot of information around this as far as coffee being good for you, coffee being bad for you, and we're obviously talking about it in a health wise. I think I've read a few different articles. I think that there's a lot of mental benefits. Coffee's a large contributor to antioxidants in the North American diet. Not that coffee's massively high in antioxidants, more so just that we consume quite a bit of it. So coffee's definitely good for you in some ways. I'd say probably in larger quantities you get probably some of the negative effects of coffee. And I've heard things about if you're using French press, LDL cholesterol. I actually don't know how true any of those things are. I'd have to really go and fact check it. But I'm pretty sure in some sort of moderation, you're fine. I've never heard of someone dying from drinking coffee. It's not true though, but I think it could happen. But yeah, coffee. So I think coffee's pretty good for you, assuming it's in moderation, and assuming you're drinking it black. If you're drinking a bunch of cream and sugar every day in your coffee, then that's definitely not good for you. But black coffee, I'd say coffee on its own is pretty good for you, and in some sort of moderation. Does coffee make you poop? So caffeine, I think, is a diuretic, so it triggers, I guess, bowel movements and like urination. So I guess coffee could make you poop. I guess that those two things could be linked. I don't know the science behind it, but I'm pretty sure it's, might help some people poop, and that's great. How many calories are in coffee? So if coffee is black, once again, if coffee's black, I believe there's like, maybe like 0 to 5 or 1 to 5 calories in like an 8-ounce cup. So pretty much nothing. You could drink like an offensive amount of coffee and like you're not going to gain weight from drinking black coffee. What's the difference between cold brew and iced coffee? This is a great question. So iced coffee is hot coffee that was then cooled down and ice was added. Cold brew is coffee grounds that are steeped in cold water from anywhere between 18 to 24 hours, maybe 48, I don't know, depends on what you're doing, but it's a lot of coffee steeped in cold water, and that's why cold brew tastes completely different than iced coffee, because iced coffee is brewed like normal and then iced. Cold brew, the coffee never comes in contact with hot water, gives you a whole different array of flavors, and that's why cold brew is completely different. It's a different beast. They're not the same. They're not equivalent. Cold brew is like double the caffeine. It's completely different. It's a completely different thing. Is coffee vegan? Yes, coffee, if you're drinking it black, it's vegan. Obviously, it's just a plant and some water. Will coffee help me lose weight? So I believe caffeine has positive effects on your metabolic rate as far as like upping it a bit. So assuming once again you're drinking it black, could coffee aid you in losing weight? Very minutely, I believe so. Once again, don't quote me on this. I'm not a doctor, but I think it could in a very, very small way. I don't think it's gonna, you're not gonna muck like 3 cinnamon buns and 12 hamburgers and then drink a cup of coffee and be like, oh, I'm fit now. So, but I think it could. I think it could help. And assuming it's black, if you're drinking your coffee with a bunch of sugar and milk, obviously it's not gonna help. What is Bulletproof coffee? So Bulletproof coffee, I think it started with kind of, I believe, the Silicon Valley entrepreneur guys. That's when it first hit my radar, and they're putting like MCT oil and pretty much all these like slow digesting fats in coffee. I guess like the idea is that like the caffeine takes longer to digest with everything because of the fats, and you're like up for longer, and it's kind of like a replacement for breakfast. You're getting all these fats in. I think it became big with people doing keto. And yeah, I believe you're adding a bunch of fats to coffee. I've never drank Bulletproof coffee just because, or made Bulletproof coffee. I was just drinking my coffee black. I'm sure it's good. It sounds interesting enough. I don't know. I'm not really into coffee. I know I like caffeine, but I'm not into like, let me drink I hate stuff in my coffee. I like black espresso. I like black coffee. I don't want to drink like MCT oil in my coffee or like a pound of coconut oil. I don't care enough, I mean, it's cool. If it's your thing, that's awesome. And if it works, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. But it's just like, for me, coffee is just such an enjoyment on its own. I don't want to put stuff in it. And the last one, what's the best type of coffee? So the best type of coffee is whatever coffee you enjoy. That's it. I mean, like, people like to get on their high horse about like different roast profiles or whatever, like what roaster, what bean. It's whatever you enjoy, and what you can enjoy black is what I always say. People that claim to like coffee and then dump 7 creams and 2 sugars in it, well, I don't know if you really like that coffee that much. But if you enjoy a coffee black and you like it, I might taste it and think it's awful. Someone else might taste it and think it's great. Another person might think it's awful as well. It doesn't matter. As long as you enjoy it, that's the best coffee. So find the coffee that you enjoy drinking black. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. This was just quick. Top 11 questions asked on Google in 2019 regarding coffee. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Educate me in the comments below on anything I kind of, dropped the ball on. And I'll see you next time.